Tonight, Marquette finally enters the portal.
Plus, we sit down with a Marquette basketball star.
Thank you so much for joining us. Golden Eagle Sports Report starts right now.
Slam dunk! Oh, that's a poster.
Live from the Jeannie Hayes virtual studio at Marquette University. This is Golden Eagle Sports Report. Good evening, everyone. I'm Adrian Fraga.
And I'm Sophie Hanrahan. The men's lacrosse team travels to the nation's capital to face the Georgetown Hoyas for their final road game of the season. And
this one starts quickly. Georgetown scoring just the opener, 26 seconds into the game, and that wasn't all. Georgetown nets 3 more goals in 3 minutes to finish off their 4-0 run.
Marquette proves they're not going anywhere, though. Senior Jake Blair nets his 11th goal of the season to put the Golden Eagles on the board. The Golden Eagles find the back of the net again. This time it's senior Peter Detweiler to help mount the Marquette comeback.
Marquette's effort continues as graduate student Nolan Rappis finds the net to cut the Georgetown lead to 1. Wow, what an action-packed quarter.
And the scoring doesn't stop there. Georgetown goes on another 3-0 run to close out the quarter. Going into the second, the Hoyas continue their scoring streak, netting another 3 goals to extend their lead to 7.
As Marquette looks to get back into it before the break, junior Bo Westphal finds the back of the net to cut into the Georgetown advantage. Going in the second half, the 2 squads trade goals early in the quarter, with the Golden Eagles cutting the lead to 5.
Georgetown goes on another streak, outscoring the Golden Eagles on a 5-0 run from the end of the third through the start of the fourth. The Golden Eagles may be down, but they're not out. 2 quick goals from sophomore Brol Sherman and junior Bo Westphal cut the Georgetown lead to single digits.
But the Hoyas net a late goal to seal Marquette's fate, and they defend the district, taking home the win 17-7. Junior Bo Westphal and graduate student Nolan Rappis each net 2 goals in the win. The Golden Eagles return to Valley Fields against Villanova for their senior day game on Saturday at 11 a.m.
The Marquette Invitational means PRs and senior recognition. MUTV General Manager Adrian Fraga has more.
It's a little chilly and overcast here, but as you can see, that will not stop the runners here in the Marquette Invitational. This is actually now the 3rd year in a row that Marquette is able to host the Marquette Invitational, and the competitive spirit is in the air here outside of Valley Fields as the seniors celebrate one last hurrah.
It's like a sunset on your career. It's awesome.
A sunset on a cloudy Milwaukee day was the perfect way to describe the vibes of the Marquette Invitational. With good weather comes outdoor track meets here at Marquette, giving the athletes a chance to put on a show in front of their fans and even some well-deserved rest.
Having the ability to sleep on our own bed and compete at home is just a really nice.
Track and field director Bert Rogers loves the home field advantage. It gives athletes a chance to go all out in a familiar environment.
Talked a little bit about a little home cooking, having family and friends here. Last time around, our Blue Oval in this sort of home meet form. We still have a lot of season to go, but to make today special and to make the most of it.
And the Golden Eagles cooked. In the meet, Marquette wins 16 different events and records 20 new personal bests. But even with records being shattered, it's the senior class that takes the spotlight. And seniors Cole Donahue and Gus Kaysen will cherish the memories they made more than anything else.
It's never the time. It's always like those bus rides or the downtime in between events. Those are the things that you remember where you're laughing with your teammates, and I think that's the biggest thing I think both of us are going to miss is you can't get that back after this, and it's that's what makes it sweet.
Although it was a bittersweet send-off for the seniors, it wasn't exactly a send-off. At least not yet. The season isn't quite over, so it's only safe to assume that this group has some more memories to make before it's all really over. Marquette! Adrian Fraga, Marquette Wire Sports. Marquette men's golf team is back in action this week as they travel down to Bourbon Country to compete in the Bluegrass State Invitational in Lexington, Kentucky. The Golden Eagles are coming off a first-place finish in Arizona at the Bell Bank Collegiate as they enter this week's tournament.
The Golden Eagles started off the week strong with a 1-under par performance as they lead Kentucky by 1 shot going into round 2. However, the second round was anything but ideal for Marquette as they post an 11 over par day. But it is Marquette's lucky day as they finish the day with the third best team score.
And the constant producer for the blue and gold is Vincent Cervantes, who scored 3 straight days of 71. Cervantes medals in Kentucky, earning his second medal of his career with a tournament low, even par for the week. But it is Misha Candinas that helps Marquette have an even par day for the third round. Candinas goes to the clubhouse with a 2 under par of 69.
Candinas finishes 4 over 4 this week, which earns him a top 10 finish, the first of his career. The only other player with a round under par is Mason Schmidtke, who also posted a 2 under par 69. Schmidtke was under par round was on day 1.
Marquette finishes in second place, only behind host team Kentucky at 10 over par for the week. The golf team will take on the rest of the Big East in the conference championship tournament in a couple weeks. The Big East Championship is in Hardyville, South Carolina. Marquette has used the transfer portal for the first time since 2024 when Jack Anderson first transferred from Keystone College. Former Louisville Cardinal Salanda Frew commits to Marquette out of the portal. He is the first Division I transfer since 2021 for Shaka Smart, and that transfer class included stars like Max Prosper, Tyler Kolek, and Darryl Morsell.
Frew spent 4 seasons professionally in Germany before playing 1 season as a Cardinal last year. This is his final year of eligibility. The German 6'11 center averaged 9 points, 6 rebounds, and 22 minutes per game.
And folks, don't worry, Marquette still has 2 scholarship spots open. The transfer portal officially closes Tuesday, April 21st.
Coming up next on Golden Eagle Sports Report, our NFL draft analysis breakdown, next week's draft. Catch more of GSR after this quick break.
Welcome to Marquette. We're going to have first day in Welcome to Marquette.
When you arrive ready for something good, you'll leave connected to something greater. Marquette University.
I would just want you to listen to me more often and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
Hello, and welcome back to Golden Eagle Sports Report. I'm Sophie Hanrahan. Nigel James Jr., a lot of words can describe his freshman campaign, but no one can doubt it was spectacular. James was awarded the Big East Freshman of the Year this past season. MUTV assistant, sports producer Brian Wilson sat down with Mr. James to talk about coming back for season number 2.
Welcome, NJ. Thank you for taking time today. Of course. So you decided to come back for your sophomore season. Kind of what went into that decision?
I mean, like I said, Madison Square Garden at the Big East tournament and the award ceremony, I never had any idea of going anywhere else. Social media likes to stir the pot, make stories and things like that. I seen different edits of me in different jerseys, people talking about I'm gonna be at this school, I'm gonna be at this school. So for me, it was never a choice to leave because I built so many relationships here even before I got here. During my high school process, I built a lot of relationships with the players that were here while I was being recruited, like Tyler Kolek, Cam Jones, Job, all those guys. I just kind of gave me a love and welcome. So that's the summer I call home, and I never ever would switch up on my coaches or the people that believed in me during the high school process when I was maybe not where I wanted to be as a player, but they helped me get to where I am and keep growing.
You mentioned one of the things that are in relationship growth and victory, and that's relationships. Retention has been big for Coach Smart since he's gotten here. Up until this year, the last few years, just no one has left or even come into the program as a Division I transfer. Kind of why are relationships in particular important to you?
I feel like without no relationships are the foundation of everything, pretty much. I prioritize that my whole life with my family. They've always told me be as much just loving as to the people that care about learning about you as a person. And Coach Smart and everybody on the staff and the players before I got here, they cared about knowing about me as a person, cared about my personal well-being before the whole basketball stuff. So relationships is a big part because that just, when you, me and Coach Smart, we built our relationship a lot this season on and off the court. So that's why he trusts me so much, and that's why he's allowed me to play as good as I have.
You've talked about multiple times, whether it's at the end of a game at a press conference, about Coach Smart kind of letting you grow through your mistakes. Can you kind of expand on that?
Yeah, I got you. Since obviously I'm a young player, I'm a freshman, so mistakes are going to happen during the game. You're going to turn the ball over, you're going to miss shots, you're going to air ball. Like, all those things happen, but he's kind of taught me how to have a short-term memory with things, and I noticed that the faster I can get over little mistakes or just things like that, the more he's going to trust me, because he knows I'm not like in my head or overthinking it or just out of the game, like I'm not mentally there. So there's a game we played at Seton Hall. I had like 2 turnovers in the first start of the game, and then I also missed like 2 layups. I got in my head for like a sec, and he was like, "You're the best player on the court. Like, you don't have to worry about that." And that just says it all right there. And then I ended up playing way better after that.
You've had some really good moments this year. I remember on the call with Trevor, the St. John's game where you had that triple clutch up and under. And I remember saying on the broadcast, it was very Kyrie-esque. And after the game, you mentioned how much you kind of watched Kyrie highlights growing up. What was your favorite moment of the season?
Dang, that's hard. I would probably say beating UConn at home, or my windmill against Creighton. Yeah, between those two. But definitely UConn, because it was the win. It was a senior night. It was a good farewell for our seniors. So yeah.
And going to the kind of the windmill against Creighton, is that when I know Chase Ross had a couple huge dunks earlier this year? Is that something you guys like have like dunk competitions, or like kind of who can get the biggest one?
Nah, not really. But it's crazy. He doesn't dunk really in practice. He doesn't dunk at all. He hates jumping apparently. So when it gets to a game, he's gonna try to dunk on somebody. So me, one of my coaches, Coach CJ, he said if you get a windmill, I'll do 100 push-ups for you. So I told him, I said, I'm gonna go get a windmill. I ended up doing it, and I looked at him after I did it, and I said, you owe me 100 push-ups. So yeah.
So you won the Big East Freshman of the Year. The 3rd player in Marquette history to do that. But on a bigger scale, you joined the likes of the name of Carmelo Anthony. And I know that last name means something to you. I know you're friends with Kyan Anthony, his son. When you were playing in high school on that big stage, did that help you at all when it came to the Big East?
Yeah, I would say it definitely helped me, having like people around me that have a big name. Like before I was coming to college, I would spend a lot of time with Kyan and his dad. We would be in the gym and stuff. And Carmelo was like kind of giving us just pointers going into high school. He was telling us like, don't get too high, don't get too low with a good performance or a bad performance. So just kind of stay level-headed. And that's kind of what I took with me as I got here, just kind of just having that poise and being able to handle a lot of people reaching out to me, a lot of people like acknowledging me, and also even when I play bad, a lot of people talking bad. So I feel like that was the main thing that we prioritized and talked about going into college, and just kind of just staying in the gym, things like that.
Thank you, NJ, for taking time to come and talk to us, and good luck in the offseason, and good luck going forward until next.
Of course, appreciate you.
As Nigel James Jr., star freshman for the Marquette Golden Eagles and Big East Freshman of the Year.
Thank you, Brian. In exactly a week from tonight, the NFL Draft will arrive. To preview the league's big night, Jake Dale and Ben Ward mock up their early first-round picks without me.
Hello and welcome into Studio 7. I'm Jake Dale here with Ben Ward. We actually have the beautiful city of Pittsburgh behind us, because in exactly a week, that is where the NFL Draft will be held. Ben, let's hop right into it. First overall pick, the Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock. Where do you think they go?
Yeah, with the first pick, 2026 NFL Draft, the Raiders are going to select Fernando Mendoza. I'm pretty sure this is the most obvious pick of the draft. After this, I think it's pretty up in the air. I think a lot of really deep talent in this year's draft, but Fernando Mendoza is the easy pick for the Raiders here. They've been looking for a solid quarterback at that spot for a while now.
Yeah, you talk about needing that quarterback position. That's something that definitely is true for the Raiders. I thought it was interesting, the signing of Kirk Cousins. I think that definitely shows the writing on the wall and where their priorities are at. They're trying to get him to learn behind someone. You brought up an interesting point about this deep draft. Do you think it's a mistake for the Raiders not to trade back in this draft?
I think it's a good idea for them to stay at 1. I think it is a deep draft, but I think Fernando Mendoza has proven a lot in just a year as well. Obviously, he's grown a lot since Cal. I mean, he was at Cal. His stats were solid, but I think going up a stage to the Big Ten and being on the playoff stage for the first time, being able to prove that you can win a national championship as well, that says enough, and I think he's going to do really well as an NFL quarterback.
Agreed. And if there's anyone to do well in a distracting environment like Vegas, it's definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure. Fernando Mendoza in Vegas is going to be a show to watch.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll get into the second overall pick. What are your thoughts? I think it's the Jets on.
New York Jets. Yeah, New York Jets are going to select. I think David Bailey. I think David Bailey is a great pick for them. He's so agile, and I think that Texas Tech game against Oregon wasn't a good showing for them. But I think if you go and watch his regular season tape and what he did before that, even the Big 12 championship game, I mean, he was just an absolute star. And I think for the Jets, they need a spark on defense. I remember seeing stats about not having an interception since like January of 2025. I mean, it just bogs you down as players when you see stats like that. And I know Aaron Glenn has been harping on it all year. He's a good guy. He motivates the guys. But they need a spark, and I think David Bailey can absolutely deliver that spark for them.
Yeah, I agree. You talk about that defensive spark. I think it comes in the way of Arvell Reese. You talk about them having
Solid
more
as well,
defensive philosophy. I think they're just going to go with best player available here. And in that case, it is Arvell Reese. I dislike how many Ohio State players are in this early part of the draft, but they were really, really talented.
Yeah.
And maybe that even shows how talented Fernando Mendoza was to be able to beat them in that Big Ten championship game and go on to do bigger and better things. So let's hop into that number 3 overall pick for you, the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, I'm going to go Arvell Reese here, Jake. I think the Cardinals. I think you could switch David Bailey and Arvell Reese. I think those two are pretty 50-50 with these two teams. Again, I think the Arizona Cardinals need also defensive spark. They lose Kyler Murray. They're going to probably go with Jacoby Brissett. So I think their quarterback is they're pretty solid on their quarterback. And, I mean, he's proven he's been able to win some games. So I think the Cardinals are going to get that defense spark like David Bailey is with Arvell Reese. And you said it for me there. Ohio State's a really talented team. And I think Arvell Reese has all the attributes for an NFL linebacker as well.
I'm going to float the idea here of number 3, Francis Mauigoa.
Out
of Miami.
Yeah.
Super talented tackle. I'm not really sure about the rest of this draft class. I think you're taking a lot of chances. For a team like the Cardinals, when you need everything, you want to take as little chances as possible. Mauigoa is pretty close to a sure thing, and you talk about protecting that quarterback. Maybe it's not protecting Jacoby Brissett right now, but down the line, when they draft a quarterback, when they go way of offense, always great to have a big tackle.
For sure.
Yeah. 4th overall. Any thoughts?
4th overall, yeah. We have the Titans, and I think the Titans are an interesting team. Look, there's our new logo right there. They're having a whole rebrand, I think. New coach. You have, obviously, the narrative is the bald coaches are coming in. Brian Daboll, you got Robert Saleh coming in. Cam Ward sticking at quarterback here. He had a nice rookie showing, but I think they're going to stick. With the offense here and help Cam Ward out with some sparks. And I think Jeremiah Love is a perfect addition for them. Tony Pollard. I mean, it's Tony Pollard. He's had a little bit of setbacks for this Titans team, and I think they're in need of that running back position to give them that extra advantage there on the run game. So I think, Jeremiah Love, he has all the attributes, right, for running back. I mean, his explosiveness, he's able to slip through tackles. We've seen that. I mean, I remember watching the Indiana-Notre Dame game in the playoffs, and just that run just showed it all. I mean, he's got that initiative of just, I'm going to score the ball every time I get it.
Tell me a little more. What does this do for that Tennessee offense that obviously struggled last year? And Cam Ward's second season now, how does that play out?
I honestly think it opens things up for Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward stressed himself out. I think he was kind of forced to throw the ball a lot. I mean, he's the number 1 overall pick. You're going to live under a lot of noise that you have to live up to some expectations. So I think it's going to open the offense up. Robert Saleh, I mean, he's a defensive mind, but he's got Brian Daboll by his side. So I think this is going to give Daboll a lot of creativity to work with that offense. And like I said, I think it's a perfect spot for Jeremiah Love as well. He's going to love playing with Cam Ward.
I like what you did there with the double love.
Come on now.
I'm gonna say I think he sticks the way of defense actually and goes with David Bailey. You talk about how dynamic he was. North of 14 sacks for Texas Tech last year. Just an unbelievable talent. I will throw in the fact I think there's a possibility Saleh goes with Caleb Downs. I think he's gonna try to go against the grain. Drafting a safety at 4th overall would be a little bit insane. But maybe it's not. Maybe he's really just that talented. I'll segue us into 5th overall with the Giants.
Yeah, and here they are, the Giants. I got Caleb Downs with the Giants. I think that Caleb Downs he's a very interesting pick. He's obviously the most attractive pick for this. I think he's got the most attractive stats, all that involved. I think what he does on the field is so versatile, right? He can get after your quarterback. He can make plays behind the line of scrimmage even as a safety. And he's so talented. I mean, he's so talented. I think with Harbaugh and what he's bringing with the Giants, again, they're kind of giving a little rebrand here with some staff changes. And, of course, Jackson Dart, the young quarterback coming in here, sticking with him. I think Caleb Downs bringing in some fresh new talent is going to get the fans involved. It's going to get that whole New York vibe off of their fans wanting to be excited about a new pick. So I think Caleb Downs would be a nice pick and a nice fit for the Giants.
Well, Ben, I'll tell you my take. I think there are 3 things that are true in life: death, taxes, and the Giants reaching on talented position players. So I think they're going to go Carnell Tate here. You talked about Ohio State wide receivers being unbelievable. There's so many in the league right now that are insane. You think about JSN's prowess recently. I think that could be a real situation here in New York. And you think about if they really believe in Jackson Dart and they like what they have in that offense, I think it's going to go by way of Carnell Tate.
Yeah, I think Carnell Tate's a very, very talented wide receiver. Obviously, there's a couple wide receivers. I think I can go top 10 here, 2 or 3 that we didn't mention yet. But I think that this draft is so deep. I mean, like I said, all these picks after Mendoza are 50-50. I think anything could be a reach. Anything could be, an underrated or an overrated pick. So I think it's going to be very interesting. This is going to be one of the most interesting drafts we've had in a while, I think, here in Pittsburgh in a couple of days. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a chance for a lot of trades, a lot of, maybe reaches, maybe fallers. We'll see. All that and more next week for the NFL draft. For Ben Ward, Jake Dale, I'll send it back to Studio 6, Adrian and Sophie.
Thank you so much, Jake. I don't know about you, Sophie. I'm just so excited for the NFL draft. It's literally my favorite time of the year. But for a special edition of Weekly Awards, we actually want to shout out Peter Detweiler of the men's lacrosse team. The senior was selected in the 4th round of the Professional Lacrosse League, not the NFL draft, but he was selected by the Carolina Chaos, and now he is the 2nd player in 3 years to be selected to play professionally, with the last player being Mason Woodward in 2024. He will join the Chaos at the conclusion of this academic year. Coming up next, a return to glory at Augusta for Rory.
Plus, what's next for the Bucks?
Stick around and find out after this quick break.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused. A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health. Discover the resources you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Welcome back to Studio 7 as we discuss the latest news in golf and the NBA. Joining me on the panel tonight is Jake Dale and Lucas Scholze, and I'm Layla Hudson. Rory McIlroy just won back-to-back Masters this week, becoming only the 4th player to do so, joining Tiger Woods, Sir Nick Faldo, and Jack Nicklaus. Rory also now has 6 major championships, joining Faldo as the only European to do so. With a career Grand Slam and 6 major titles, he is widely considered the greatest European golfer of all time. What does Rory need to do to catch Jack and Tiger for the greatest golfer to ever live? What do you think, Jake?
Well, Layla, I think it's a little more on that longevity. You know, he has to continue to do it at the high level that he's been, and you have to give him credit. Back-to-back Masters is not easy at all, but you alluded to it a little bit. It really comes by way of that double Grand Slam. He needs to win the Open, he needs to win the U.S. Open, and all of a sudden he's in some pretty insane conversations. As I said, already the most decorated European golfer of all time. He's closer than people think.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that, Jake. I mean, you look at him, back-to-back Masters, you mentioned, it's not an easy thing to do. It's very hard to even win one Masters. Yeah. And obviously he's the only European to complete that Grand Slam. And he only needs, 2 more majors to get that 2nd Grand Slam, how huge that would be for him. But I think the biggest thing for him is he's only 36 years old. Yeah. And he's known kind of earlier in his career, especially in 2011 Masters, kind of that Masters choke artist. Mm-hmm. And as his career went on, he had that long stretch where he didn't win a major. And I feel like if he had more majors in that time span, we'd be talking about him much more highly.
You know, you have to be a psychopath in order to continue to go after all this. He has the money, he has the accolades, but we saw Tiger Woods continue to push on. He needs to do that and keep on going.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Rory also needs to be in the double digits for a major championship and also just have good performances over the next 10 years. Yeah. NBA playoffs are in the air as they play and finishes tomorrow, and the first round tips off on Saturday. Who has the legs to make a surprise run, and who can win it all? What do you think, Lucas?
Well, I don't think it's a surprise run, but I got the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, you're talking about the best player in the NBA. I know you could say Jokic or Shea. I got Victor Wembanyama. This guy's averaging 25 points, 12 boards, and 3 blocks. But when he's on the floor, everyone is just so much more different. teams shoot 59% from at the rim when he's on the floor, 7.5% lower than the average. There aren't many players in the league that make that much of a difference at the rim, and they're 4-1 against that one-seeded Thunder. I think the Spurs have the best chance to win this league.
Preposterous, insanity. You know who the best player in the league is? It's the one who's coming off a reigning MVP. It's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. There's no one in the league that can score like him. There's no one in the league that's as consistent as him. And not to mention, there's more weapons on this Thunder team than there's ever been. Jalen Williams is now getting healthy. You know, they've continued to play him more and more throughout the year, fit him back in the lineup. Chet Holmgren continues to grow in different ways. And not even to mention their depth. AJ Mitchell has played really well. Alex Caruso is still there. There's so much talent on this Thunder team. And at the end of the day, in a tournament like this, where it's 4 games, the Thunder are the best team.
Well, you're talking about talent. I mean, you got elite guards on the Spurs team as well. You got De'Aaron Fox, average 18 points per game. Stephon Castle's one of the rising stars in this league.
They're not ready yet.
I worry about the Thunder's ability to shoot in the playoffs. Sometimes they fade away in the NBA Cup against the Knicks, and they fade away shooting the ball.
I promise you, in a couple years, I will absolutely agree. Like, I like Devin Vassell. You talk about Stephon Castle. You talk about Dylan Harper. Those are all insanely talented players. They're not ready right now in this very moment.
But I might have to go with Jake on this one because Thunder also has experience with the championship. I can also say the Nuggets also winning it all again because they also have experience with winning championships. But what were you about to say?
I mean, these teams have played 5 times this year, and the average margin of victory for the Spurs is 11. And again, the Thunder shot 42% from the field.
If we've learned anything about the modern NBA, is that the regular season does not matter.
That's true.
And not even to mention that the Thunder still have the best record. Like early in the season, when this Thunder team won, they were 20-1 or something insane, everyone knew that they were the best team. They're still the best team on paper.
Even when they were that best team, they beat them on Christmas Day. I know you could say the regular season doesn't matter. I know you can say the regular season doesn't matter, but how can you say Victor Wembanyama affects so much when it comes to players driving to the hoop? And that's what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander does a lot.
Too big to fail. The Thunder are too big to fail.
I don't know. I don't agree. I think the Spurs got this.
Well, moving on now. The Milwaukee Bucks season did not live up to expectations as they finished with a 32-50 record. Doc Rivers stepped down at the end of the season, and now the Bucks have a lot of decisions to make. What is next for the Milwaukee Bucks? What do you think, Lucas?
Yeah, well, where do you start? I mean, this team is toxic right now. I mean, they talk about a lot of different reports with Giannis getting traded, but this team has one of the most toxic relationships. They got their coach talking about he has this resume and Google him and stuff like that. I mean, this is just a toxic relationship. So I think the first thing they need to do is get a coach. Now, again, they're going to be paying 3 coaches after this. They're going to be paying Doc Rivers, Adrian Griffin, and then their new third coach, who I think should be Taylor Jenkins. He's a guy who's already been assistant coach in this team in 2018-19 when the Bucks were really successful, a team that won 60 games. So I feel like he should be their first option. He won back-to-back 50-win seasons with the Memphis Grizzlies. And I think the next thing, trade Giannis. I feel like if you get into the Knicks, I think if you're a Bucks fan, the first thing you're hoping is that the Knicks lose early in the playoffs. The Knicks lose early in the playoffs, the first thing they're going to do is look to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. And if they do that, I think they can get Karl-Anthony Towns from the New York Knicks out of that deal. And then they got a new starting 5.
You don't let a player like Giannis Antetokounmpo go. Under no circumstance. Not even to mention that it's Milwaukee and no one else is walking through that door.
I'll look at this. They don't have a first-round pick until 2031. They don't own their first-round pick until 2031. They own 1 second-round pick until 2033. This team has nowhere to go. I think they need to get rid of Giannis. They need to get rid of Bobby Portis, and they need to make sure Ousmane Dieng, Kevin Porter Jr., and Jericho Sims are on this team next year.
If you don't think they should trade Giannis, what do you think they should do?
You cling on to whatever you have. You keep Giannis in-house. You do everything you can to keep him in-house. I don't care if that's drafting his 4th brother. He doesn't have a 4th brother. Make one.
I mean, this team is in the worst possible state a basketball team can be. They have no relationships with the coaches. They are 32-50. They have one of the best players in the NBA on the roster, and he's hurt all the time.
So you trade with the Knicks, and you get, what, Mikal Bridges and 3 firsts? Is that saving you?
I'm saying they could get Carl. I don't think they'll be good for right now.
Oh, you think they'll get Karl-Anthony Towns?
I think they should just completely reset.
Who do you think they get for Giannis?
I think they should get Karl-Anthony Towns.
All right. Karl-Anthony Towns is going to save the franchise. You heard
I'm not saying he's going to save the franchise.
Karl-Anthony Towns in Milwaukee sounds like the worst disaster since DeMarcus Cousins and
I'm saying that they have to completely reset. They have to completely reset. This team is a disaster right now. They have to build on the young talent. They got Cormac Ryan, who went 50, 40, 90 in 14 games. They got Ousmane Dieng, who looked really good.
Cormac Ryan.
I'm not saying he's going to start. I'm saying for depth purposes.
I think you have to understand how bad the Milwaukee Bucks for years and years and years were.
I know.
Before Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I know.
That it will be the same way after him. You have to pray to hold on to whatever you have.
Unfortunately, guys, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for the great discussion. We're out of time. Tune in next week for all of our coverage of Marquette, sports, and more. For Jake Dale and Lucas Schulze, I'm Layla Hudson. Good night, Marquette.
Got a little heated. You don't give up Giannis.